Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is The Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games and a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Draft Day Sports College Basketball, and it's week 43 of competition. We've been at this for a while now. We're quite a few seasons in, and it's mid-season right now. Things are looking pretty good. Overall, we are 9-4, 2-4 in conference. Our RPI is currently all the way up to 29. Highest position we've been in a while. Let's head straight into things. We've got Emmitsburg on the road next. And a quick look at Emmitsburg. They are 1-1 through their first 2 games in conference. I've already finished my recruiting for this year, or this coming year, with center Greg Fitz, ranked 210th in the nation. Power forward Nick Eisenhower, ranked number 63 in the entire nation. And point guard Brian Wormley, the 24th rank in the entire nation. That's about the highest recruit I've ever had. And not only that, all 3 players are in the top 250. I've got some good players coming in for next season. Really excited by what they are bringing to the team for next year. And here we go. We're on to the Emmitsburg game. We're going to go ahead and watch this one. Though, as always, I'll sim through most. We'll get to the end of the season, and we'll set up the recruiting for next year if I get the opportunity. It's a road game. We've definitely got the better record of the 2, though, so that's going to make it a tight contest. So far this season, I am perfect at home, but just under 500 on the road. Close game so far. It's 12-6. We're off to a good start here, so going out a little bit of a lead early on, but they score 3 quick buckets to get right back in the game at 12-12. As I've been cold for quite a while here, we finally get a point from the free throw line and then quickly make a 3 and another 2 and get a little momentum going our way. Early look at some of the stats. We are -3 on rebounds, but we're +6 on turnovers. And we could be up by a lot. However, we're only shooting 35% from the field while they're shooting 47% from the field. And that's the difference at the moment. So at halftime, we trail by 2, 39-37. Forney's already got 10 points on 4 of 6 shooting. Jamal Small has 7 and 4 assists. David Wise has 10 points right now, but only a couple of rebounds managed so far. Small's got 7 before he just subbed out. 5-point lead, 7-point lead now, 59-52. Things are looking good on that front. This might be a good time to take a timeout and make sure we keep the momentum going our way. And actually, they come out of the timeout with a 3-pointer. And let's go ahead and slow down for the last few minutes of the game. It's 72-63. Forney still just 10 points at this point. He's only had 1 field goal attempt since then. But he just nailed a 3 as Courtney Perry got his 7th assist of the game. And Jamal Small now sitting on 17 points and 8 boards, near a double-double. And it's 78-65 here in the final minute. We're going to cruise away in this one. Let's go ahead and speed that back up and finish this game off. And there you go. Final score, 78-65. We do manage to get the win. Forney with 13. Small with 17. 9 boards. Paul Floyd also added 9 boards in the game. No turnovers for Small, so great day from him. 6 of 11 shooting's not the greatest, but that's still a good day at the office. Rebounds level at 37. Turnovers +9. and we leveled off that field goal shooting, and that was definitely the difference in this one, as both teams were pretty even on free throws and three-pointers and fouls, at least in the second half. So the difference was definitely in the second half, and pretty early in the second half, where we shot the ball a lot better and pulled away. And go ahead and push through the rest of the week. This should be a pretty easy win with Williamsburg at home. They are just 4-10 on the season, so we've got a much better record than they do, and I would expect that we can pull that win off and go to 4-0 in conference. And with a pretty nice RPI ranking, we could be on the cusp of picking up some votes in the rankings.
You have new mail. You have new mail.
We do get the win. We go to 11-4, 4-0 now. Not ranked. RPI goes up just 1, 28th now. But still, pretty solid job, and we've got to be pretty close to the edge of that. And it's been quite a few years since the last time we were ranked. Let's see, how long has it been? Let's look at team history. 2027 was the last time. We've only had 2 seasons that we were ever ranked. We were 20th in 2027 at the end of the season, 18th in 2026, and then that's where we had a big drop-off there that next year in 2028. That group was the last one that really did well. We got into the NCAA tournament both times. We got to the second round that one time, and that's our 4 or 5 tournament appearances that we've had overall. That was 2 of them. And we haven't been back since, so this is 4 years since, a whole cycle later now. Excuse me. With Emmetsburg, with that win, we go to 7-6 all-time against them. That is our one long-time rival that we have, as we are now in Conference M. Of course, as we look along the way, Conference A is the pinnacle. That's where we want to get. Conference V is where we started at the bottom. Conference M, we're not halfway yet, but we've made a lot of progress towards working our way towards the top. And this looks like a good year to move up again, as we are now at 4-0. Huge game coming up next, though, with Appalachian State, who themselves are 12-3, the only similar record to us other than Georgia Southern, who's 0-4 in the conference, but 10-5 on the season. But the Appalachian State is the only one anywhere near us at 3-1 in conference, but also has the kind of record to match it. Eastern Kentucky 9-6, 8-2 at home. That's pretty good too. But Appalachian State is a perfect 7-0 at home. And their RPI is not that far below ours in 66th. You can see they're the only other ones inside the top 100, though DeLand is quite close. So we'll go ahead and watch this game as well, as we've got plenty of time to go here in the season. So let's see what happens with Appalachian State. Now, a win here against them on the road, and if we take care of business in the second game of the week, this should see us get ranked. But we've got to win the game first, and they've definitely got to be favorites with the kind of record they have, and a perfect home record, despite us being 11-4. At least in terms of the regular season, this is definitely the game of the season in conference, and very well could determine who is the regular season conference champion. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if we have a rematch in the final, if both of us happen to get through the final, I wouldn't be surprised if we're the top 2 teams at the end of the regular season. All right, let's get straight to it. Appalachian State off to a very quick start, up 4-0, but we drain a 3-pointer, Forney does, to get us back into the game. But they are up 9-3, 12-7. Quick start, definitely favoring Appalachian State, and I think that's a good occasion to use a timeout, see if we can't get going into this game. And so far, it's not paying off, as we're down 20-11 here early on. What is going on? -2 on turnovers, -3 on rebounds. They're shooting 60% from the field. And we're 1 of 6 beyond the arc. We're down 18 points here just before halftime. It's an ugly day at the office so far. 46-28 right now. Let's go ahead and use another timeout. We've got to get some sort of run here before halftime. And there you go. There's a nice little run, 50-38 at the half. We close the gap a bit as their post players are absolutely hammering us. Travis Butler got 12 points on 5 of 7 shooting, so he's doing all right. But my guards, nothing going for them. Winston McCamey just 3 of 10 shooting. Jamal Small 1 of 7 shooting. But we have fought our way back into this game as it is 64-61, now 66-63 with 9 minutes to go in the game. Rebounds -8, turnovers +5. They're still shooting 55% from the field and 82% from the free throw line. If they were shooting threes any better, they would be far ahead of us. But we are keeping it close here in this game now. We've got a chance. Travis Butler having a fantastic day. 15 points on 6 of 8 shooting. He needs some help, though. Jamal Small struggling. 1 of 8. 2 of 5 for both Burton and Perry there. We're down 10 with 5 minutes to play. I'm going to use a timeout now before this thing gets ugly. And it's getting ugly. There's another 3-pointer, and we miss 2 threes back to back. We're down 11 here. It's time's running out. It's looking like Appalachian State's going to pull out the victory as we've gone ice cold. And they've never cooled off. They're still shooting 57% from the field. We're down 10. 2 minutes to play. I'm going to go ahead and use that last time out because this is the only chance we've got with a minute and a half to go to get back into this thing. 40 seconds, 30 seconds. That's going to do it. Right. In fact, they get the last second 3-point shot as we got blocked in our last chance. So, multiple turnovers. Poor performance overall from the team. Courtney Perry does, in the end, get up to 10 points. So does Winston McCamey. After his 1 for 10 start, he gets 3 straight to go 4 of 13. So, a little better there in the second half. But we were -10 on rebounds. That hurt a lot. And their 57% from the field hurt most of all. And I told you if they got hot from 3, that's where we'd really run into trouble, and they did. It looks like they made almost every 3-pointer down the stretch there. So final is 89-75. We go down hard in that game with Appalachian State just outstanding from the field. Next up is Western Michigan at 8-8. We're still pretty much in the driver's seat here, though, for at least a top 2 seed in the postseason tournament. And again, if you've been following this series, and chances are if you're watching this week 43 episode, chances are you've been following this series for a while. And the obvious thing is we've got to get into the top 3 for an automatic promotion to... I guess it's going to be Conference L next as we move up the ladder. So our real target is to get into that top 3. And then, of course, the next best thing is to get the conference tournament win so that we've got the opportunity to go to the NCAA tournament, the March Madness tournament, and see what we can do there. We've never gotten further than the second round, and I think we're still a few divisions off from really starting to be competitive and maybe crack the Sweet 16 and that. But we're getting close. Recruits like this, that's what could start putting us over the edge. But at 5-1 now, we did get the win in that game. We're still looking pretty good. Here's our other big contender with DeLand. And let's go ahead and check in on the standings as we are at the midway point through the conference schedule. And we're still right there on top alongside Appalachian State, who did beat us head-to-head there. But, of course, we were on the road. It didn't even hurt our RPI. We're actually still 27th. They just jumped 25 spots by getting that win, and they've won 5 straight now. But DeLand is still just a game behind us, so if we want to stay ahead of this bunch, this is going to be a big game to potentially seal the deal here at the top. We're not going to watch that one, though, so hopefully, keep fingers crossed, that we do pull off the win here. Again, it's a road game. Road games are tough, and the better road teams are the ones that are the better teams overall, are the ones where it's really difficult to pull off those wins on the road. As this game clearly favors home teams. There's a pretty strong home court advantage for most teams. And we dropped to 5-2. That was pretty expected, actually. With Army up next at 6-12, that should favor us pretty heavily. And our perfect streak at home should stay alive. And there we go. We got the win there to go 6-2 in conference, 13-6 on the season. Things are still looking good. That does drop us away from that contention for cracking the top 25. But we're still looking pretty good for the year. In terms of things, we now have a 3-way battle at the top. And surprisingly, it's not DeLand who has joined us up there. It's Western Michigan who won both of their games this week. DeLand went 1-1, so whoever they just faced likely on the road, I'm guessing, was the difference. We still have the top RPI here in the league, slightly above Appalachian State, who also dropped a game this week. Quick glance at the schedule to see where we're at for this last handful of conference games. Ooh, they put us in for an extra game also. So we've got Eastern Kentucky on the road. They're 11-8 overall, 5-3. That's going to be another tough road game. We've had 4 straight, really. Emmitsburg as well. Really tough road schedule this season. Eastern Illinois should be a fairly easy one at home. VMI winnable, but not easy. I mean, their RPI is inside the top 100. Wyoming, that's pretty winnable on the road. State of Austin, very winnable. Georgia Southern, very winnable. South Tulsa, RPI is 51, 6-2 overall. That's not going to be an easy game, but it is at home. Utah State, that is a road game. Tough to say whether we're good enough to definitely take that or not. Emmitsburg at home, they're struggling this season. It looks like they've finally reached the point where they're in the right place. Emmitsburg has moved up a lot of divisions, like ourselves. They were even ahead of us for a while, but it looks like they're going to stay put here for a while. But with 4 road games left, I'd say 3 of them are really tough. So we are not cruising our way through the conference this year. It's going to be tight. Let's go ahead and get to that next week. We'll see what happens. The RPI down to 40th. A win here would boost us back up a bit. A loss shouldn't drop us too much, but Eastern Kentucky, this is not going to be an easy game. Nor will that VMI game be. We head into February now, so quick pause to save, auto save. Hey, we got the win. Nice. Great road win there. We go to 7-2 in conference. That's big right there. Next up is Eastern Illinois at home, and that's pretty winnable. Let's see. 88-80 was that win over Eastern Kentucky, so that's a big one for us. Checking in here, VMI got another win. DeLand lost. Let's see. And Appalachian State, they grab another win, pretty comfortable over North Texas. North Texas X-Men. Haha. Hunters? No. And we got the win there, so that's 15-6 overall, 8-2 in conference. This is definitely the best record we've had in a long time. But this next game against VMI, the Virginia Military Institute, will not be an easy one. They might only be 11-10, but they've got a pretty good record this season at home and in conference. Oh, here we go. Top 30 for Player of the Year. The shooting guard, Al Johnson, out of Florida State, is the favorite for that, with Arizona and Stanford players behind him. And of course, I have yet to have any player crack that, but we're too many divisions down. Let's go ahead and clear that. There we go. And let's first check the schedule, and then we'll check the standings to see how things are looking. So, again, VMI is down to 4-6 in conference. So it looks like they've had a little bit of a bad stretch here. They've lost their last couple games and dropped outside of the top 100. However, it's a road game. So is Wyoming. But Wyoming's only 8-13 with a much lower RPI. So they might both be 4-6 in conference. But VMI's got a pretty good resume with that RPI, so a bit more nervous about that one. Both games are winnable, but neither game is a gimme. Stephen F. Austin and Georgia Southern, those should be gimmies. South Tulsa still looking really good, 8-2 in conference, 16-5, 45 RPI. We are back up to 29 now. I'd give us a slight edge playing at home, but that's going to be a tight contest. Utah State on the road, 5-5, low RPI, again winnable. So the toughest game we have left is VMI and South Tulsa. If we can get through those two games, I really, really love our chances. Right now we're tied at the top with Appalachian State, and we've got a 2-game buffer over the next 4 teams, but that could all change in one weekend. And this, with 2 road games, and neither one being easy, could be where that changes. I'm going to go day by day so we can at least check in on the score. We're not going to watch any more games live during the regular season. We'll see maybe about somewhere around semifinals within the conference tournament might be the next game. Go to live. Got about 20 minutes left in the episode here, so we still got plenty of time. But with the kind of record we have, we're going to be participating in some sort of postseason tournament. All right, it's game day here with VMI. We'll come back in and check the score as soon as the sim's done. That's why I'm only doing one day. And we go to 9-2. We pull it off. Not only do we win, but we win pretty big. 76-58 was the final. Appalachian State keeps up their run as well. And let's see, those who were behind us. DeLand gets a win. Let's see, Western Michigan loses. Eastern Michigan wins. I'm not sure which one was the that next team back. Let's take a quick glance at that. Eastern Michigan, DeLand. Oh, it's Army. Nice. The Black Knights. If I hadn't mentioned this before, I served in the Army, and quite a few of my friends went to West Point. I did not. I was enlisted. Highlights of the week so far. Forney had 21 points in that game. Nice job. Perry had 5 assists. Small led the way with 10 boards. Good for him. And 4 blocks for Paul Floyd. So that was a good game for us. All right, we've got another big game here. This one's even more winnable. We've got a little bit of a streak going here, but that does not mean that we are definitely going to win. I'd give us about a 60% chance of winning this game at Wyoming. So far on the season, Winston McCamey is leading the team with 10.4 points per game. Forney is getting 3.5 assists. Floyd getting about 6 rebounds a game and 2 blocks. And Perry leading the way with 1.2 steals per game. Definitely hoping for the win here, but still nervous about it. We do pull off the win. 10-2 in conference. And with the schedule we have left, I think we're definitely looking at promotion now this season. That was a lot closer game, so I told you we were definitely not guaranteed. 73-69 was the final. Next couple games are at home. Next few games, really, if you count the non-conference one. Let's see, DeLand wins again, so they're keeping close. Another loss for VMI is going to drop them down, but Western Michigan stays close. And Appalachian State lost to Army. So Army just beat Appalachian State. That's going to shake up the standings a little bit. And I have an injured player. This could shake up the season a bit. Who is it? What has happened? Broken leg for Scott Martin. He's down to 12% for the next 45 days. Scott Martin. I think that is our senior walk-on center. So we're okay. Crisis averted. Scott Martin was 11th on the depth chart. 1.3 points per game. He's 1.5 stars. He's a decent player, but as a walk-on, didn't have a scholarship, wasn't going to get one, is a senior. Looks like his career ends a little bit early for him, so he's going to head off to the real world with a degree. So he should be in good shape, but his basketball days are done unless it's rec league. All right, we're going to cruise through the games this week as I'm feeling pretty confident at this point that we should be able to go 12-2 in the conference. But the big test is whether we can go 20-6, as there's a third game this week with the that bracket buster game. So first up is Stephen F. Austin. Am I being too optimistic to predict at least winning the first 2 games? And I am. I'm too optimistic. Stephen F. Austin pull off the upset, our first home loss of the entire year. Next up is Georgia Southern, who might be 14-10, but they've been terrible in conference and have a very low RPI. But now that we've lost one at home, are we going to be shaken? Okay, we got the win, 11-3. So sadly, we only go 1-1 in our easiest stretch of games we've had, and we've got another game the very next day here with South Tulsa. This is that bracket breaker Sunday. Teams that are on the edge of getting in, regardless of their place. Appalachian State also here in the bracket breaker Sunday, as is VMI, DeLand, Western Michigan, and Eastern Michigan. So a whole bunch of teams getting games here on Bracket Breaker Sunday. And we play South Tulsa. And out of all of those opponents, South Tulsa's 19-6, along with Texas State, is the best record anyone's playing against. So we pull off the win 72-60. Again, playing at home was a big deal for that. Appalachian State lost theirs. VMI won their game. DeLand lost theirs. Western Michigan with a 1-point victory over Morehead State. And Eastern Michigan comfortably wins over New Haven. Quick look in on the standings. We are tied with Appalachian State at the top, 11-3, with just a couple games left to play, and we have a 2-game cushion over Eastern and Western Michigan and DeLand. So any two of those to lose one game, and we're safely in the top 3. Or we could just simply control our own destiny and win at least one game in the final 2 to guarantee we finish in the top 2 and earn promotion on this season. And also, if we win one of those 2 final games, we guarantee a 20-win season for the first time in a while. First up, though, road game at Utah State. It's a winnable road game, but any road game is never a guarantee. RPI is sitting at 33 right now after that unfortunate home loss, but winning the other 2 games. And actually, the RPI, the last game there, that was part of this week's schedule. I think this is the tougher of the 2 games to get the win, but if we do it here, we're already guaranteed. And there it is. We got the win. We got the win. 70-63 over Utah State on the road. So that's good. Let's see. DeLand got their win. Appalachian State also won. So best record for the regular season is still neck and neck between us and Appalachian State. Let's see. Eastern Michigan got their win. Army lost to Eastern Kentucky. So in terms of the standings, with 1 to play, again, we have that 2-game cushion, and Eastern Michigan and DeLand are right there neck and neck for the 3rd automatic. If one of them wins the conference tournament, or one of the 2 of us win the conference tournament, then we are the 4 teams that are going to get promoted this season. But there's still a slight chance at a shakeup with Western Michigan from the outside, or if somebody else can win the conference tournament outside of that group. But with a struggling Emmitsburg at home, this should be an easy game to finish off the regular season, to go 21-7 and 13-3 in conference. But have I spoken too soon? Because it is tough to beat a team twice in the same year. It's even tougher to beat them 3 times. Okay, we do get that second win in a row against Emmitsburg, and we finished regular season at 21-7. So we're going to head first into the conference tournament. And let's see where that final standing is. And Appalachian State drops their final game of the season. So we are outright winners of the conference, at least the regular season. We'll have the first seed. That puts us in the driver's seat. We're going to get somewhere down around the 8th best team or 9th best team, I think. Let's see. Somewhere around Williamsburg or Eastern Kentucky should be our matchup. Well, no, because then it might be, let's see. Yeah. 8 and 9, right? That's the end of February. We head into March. And we've got the kind of record that could see us into the tournament regardless of whether we win or lose the conference tournament. Could. Our RPI is 23rd. It's inside the top 25. We are not in the top 25, but our RPI is. Of course, conference tournament win guarantees a trip to the tournament, but we'll see how things go first.
You have new mail.
Okay, so I was right. Yeah, Williamsburg. 12-16 overall. Let's go ahead and check that email real quick for the Williamsburg scouting report. And there you go. We're level on quite a few spots, but we have an advantage at shooting guard, at a definite advantage at the bench. But I like this. One senior starter in Paul Floyd, and that's it. So even though I have 3 new players coming in, I'm only losing 1. And Eisenhower could contend to come straight into the starting lineup as a freshman. And with a junior in Forney, Wormley, if I could redshirt him a year and then get 4, oh gosh. But even if not, even if he comes in and plays right away and gets split minutes with Forney next year, we're looking pretty good. My scoring's pretty balanced. I like that as well. All right, let's get to it. I like our chances against Williamsburg. I'm not going to watch this game. We'll sim through it. I think we're pretty comfortably the better team in this matchup.
You have new mail.
And we do get the win there. Next up is DeLand. DeLand is a bit tougher. Appalachian State and Eastern Michigan also got through. Let's check that scouting report real quick. See how we're looking here. Ooh, bigger advantages. Bench again, McCamey, Floyd, and Forney. So it looks like we're pretty heavily favored for this game. No, and we lose. We lost, and we lost big, 85-72. So just as I think we're comfortably there, or not. Beat Williamsburg 61-49. We lose 85-72 to DeLand. They're playing for a lot more than we are at this point in terms of promotion. Promotion's the biggest thing for me. Until we really get up to those top divisions, we're not going to have the kind of prestige we need to get the best players. And until we have that, and until I can improve the facilities a bit, it's a long, slow process to win the NCAA tournament. We might still make it. All right, well, so obviously there's no game to watch here in Appalachian State in DeLand playing for the tournament championship.
You have new mail.
And DeLand continues right on. They steamroll Appalachian State as well. Final regular season standings, Winston McCamey 11.4 points per game. So he's actually scoring even better. Our team comparisons, 36th in the nation in scoring, 6th in assists. So we're distributing the ball really well. But our rebounding has been suspect this year. I've definitely noticed that at times. And our opponents, we're not letting them rebound much better than us. But we are about minus 1.2 per game. But we're definitely better than our opponents in scoring by quite a few points. What, 6.5 points per game is it? And we definitely do an excellent job in only giving up 4.8 steals per game. Nobody's declared for the draft. I still have yet to have anyone drafted, even as a senior. And the finalists for the award, still the same guys at the top. Seems to be the case every year. I want to take a look at our commits for a moment here. See how we're looking compared to the rest. So Appalachian State doesn't even have any recruits for next year. I don't know if that's because they don't have anyone graduating or if they haven't been able to get any yet. But Army, one of the best teams in the conference, their best recruit is 822. DeLand, same. And they do have one decent top 400 recruit. Emmitsburg not bringing in any top players. Georgia Southern's doing okay in recruiting, but only a couple players total. And you can see we are just leaps and bounds beyond the others in terms of what we're bringing in, and that's the big reason why we continue our ascent. All right, just a few games, few days left here in the season, so let's get on to Selection Sunday. Still think we've got a shot at getting a spot in the tournament. But I'm not that sure. I'd say 30% shot of getting in.
You have new mail.
Yep, on to the selection show. We're going to go ahead and watch the show and see.
You have
Do
new
we
mail.
get
you
in?
have new mail.
All right. I know we're going to have some sort of tournament. I just don't know if it's the big one. So first up, play-in game. Somebody and somebody. I don't know who those somebodies are. Arizona State there. There's Appalachian. If Appalachian State got in, we've got to be in. They were 23-8. We were 22-8. But if they're in, there's a decent chance that we're in because they did not win the tournament. Those are the play-in games. And there we go. We're in. Durham, as in Duke. We're going to be up against Duke in the first round. 13 seed. All right. They think we'll keep it close and at least make a game out of it, but it looks like we are out of reach. Let's go ahead and quickly get through the rest here. We're out of time for the episode, and I want to give us time to see what happens with our game. So, UConn with a 1 seed, Miami a 3 seed, and a bunch of other seeds. Sorry for pushing the pace there, but Philadelphia was a 1 seed, and the 1 seed. UConn, Michigan State, and Florida State are the top 4 in the nation. I don't know if they got the 4 1 seeds or not, though. RPI drops to 26 now. But if we pull off the upset and beat Duke, number 12 team in the country, I think that would get us ranked in the final rankings. Alright, let's stick with the M games for now. We will watch this game. Regardless of time, there's Appalachian State with their play-in game. Western Michigan in the CIT tournament. Appalachian State lost. They're out, but Western Michigan is still alive in the CIT. And Eastern Michigan's in the CBI. And they got a win as well. So here's Western Michigan's next round game against Savannah State. And here we are against Duke. That's a big one. All right. Due to being out of time, the first half we'll have to fly through it, as is the normal case, so sorry about the pace on that, but well, let's get to it. We're off to a good start on rebounds as we grab the first 3 boards of the game, but they're scoring. And even though they're 1 of 8 shooting so far, we're still trailing in this game, as they have already been to the free throw line 6 times. 8 times. We still haven't even been there once. So the referees are helping Duke out, or they're just attacking and calling us for every foul. The fouls are 7-2. Ouch. And we're down 28-14. Are you kidding me? Come on, refs. The refs are deciding the game here early on. And we trail 34-20 at this point as I use my first 30-second timeout. Let's try to see what positives we can find here. None at the moment. Cammy was 2 of 7 shooting. Perry's got 9 points already, so good for him there. 41-26 as we trail here early in the second half. We're -6 on rebounds, +4 on turnovers, and we're shooting below 30%. They're not shooting much better, but they've had 18 free throws. They're still well ahead of us on that, and we're 1 of 7 beyond the arc. We use our full timeout here. It's the only way we're going to get any chance to get back in this here in the final 10 minutes as we are down big, 61-41 in this game. Small's got 10 points, Cammy's got 12. And no reason to slow it down. This is not a game. It's 72-48. We got 1 final timeout. Let's use it. Try to get this game closed down a little bit. Maybe somewhere. No. We lose by 21, 76-55. We were -14 on the board, so rebounding was a difficulty for us all season long, and we were -6 on turnovers, so that hurt. In the end, we held them to 42% free throw shooting, or field goal shooting, but we only managed 34% ourselves. We did a great job from the free throw line, and in the end, the free throws did balance out. 3-pointers, not a tragedy. So really, the rebounding and the turnovers are what hurt us most of all. And at least Forney ended the game with a block shot. Good job, son. So we made it to the tournament, but we're out in the first round. But at least job well done to get there, especially when we got there not winning a conference tournament. So that's progress. But we're out at 76.55, and that's going to do it for this episode, and obviously this season. I'll see you at the beginning of next season. Be sure to hit that like button, and bye for now.